Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhaimin bin Muhammad Azman and my magnetic number is 212020749.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Aqil bin Rasli. My number message is 212020720 and we will explain about a DC motor circuit.
Before we go through this presentation, let me tell you the introduction about DC motor. DC motors are everywhere. In a house, almost every mechanical movement that you see around you is caused by DC. A DC motor is a machine that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy by supplying a DC power. An advantage of DC motor is that it is easy to control their speed in a wide diapason. As you can see, this is the part and design of DC motor. It have ball bearing, coil, iron core, coil insulation, coil commutator interconnection, commutator copper segment and insulation between segment. Operation of DC motor. The magnetic field lines enter into the rotor from the north pole and exit from the south pole. This pole generates a magnetic field that is perpendicular to the current carrying conductors. The generated force turns the rotor until the coil reaches the point between the poles. Inertia drive the motor beyond the neutral zone where direction of magnetic field reverse. Current enters the coil at slot A and exit from slot B during this stage. This reverses the current direction through the rotor coil, which maintain the counterclockwise rotation. Types of DC motor. There are three main types of DC motor. First, separately excited. Second, self-excited. Third, permanent magnet. But self-excited are divided into three types: shunt excited, series excited and compound excited. Okay, first, separately excited DC motor. The supply is given separately to the field and armature windings. Second, permanent magnet. The permanent magnet DC motor, or known as PMDC, consists of an armature winding, as in case of an usual motor, but does not necessarily contain the field windings. I think that's all from me. The other part will be shared by Aqil. Thank you for listening.
What is self-excited DC motor? So, self-excited DC motor is the field winding is connected either in a series or in parallel, or partly in series, partly in parallel to the armature winding. So, self-excited DC motor divide to three: series 1 DC motor, shunt 1 DC motor, compound 1 DC motor and cumulative DC motor. So, let's talk about series 1 DC motor. So the entire armature current flow through the field winding as is connected in series to the armature winding. So the series 1 self-excited DC motor is diagrammatically represented below for the clear and understanding. So the equation is W equal to E per Ks Ia saturation to Ra plus Rs per Ks. Next, shunt 1 DC motor. So the field winding are exposed to the entire terminal voltage as they are connected in parallel to the armature winding. Third, self-excited DC motor is a compound 1 DC motor. So the compound excitation characteristic in a DC motor can be obtained by combining the operational characteristic of both of the shunt and series-excited DC motor. So the compound 1 self-excited DC motor, or simply compound 1 DC motor, essentially contain the field winding connected both in series and in parallel to the armature winding. Lastly, self-excited DC motor is cumulative compound DC motor. So when the shunt field flux exceeds the main field flux produced by the main field connected in series to the armature winding, then it's called cumulative compound DC motor. Cumulative compound DC motor also divide to three: the differential compound DC motor. First, so in the case of differential compound DC motor, the engagement of shunt and series winding is such as that a field flux produced by the shunt field winding diminish the effect of the flux by main series field winding. So second, short shunt DC motor. If the short shunt field winding is only parallel to the armature winding and not the series field winding, then it's known as a short shunt DC motor, or more especially specifically short shunt type compound 1 DC motor. So lastly, long shunt DC motor. So if the shown field winding is parallel to both the armature winding and the series field winding, then this is known as a long shunt type. So compound one DC motor or simply long shunt DC motor. DC motor speed control. So DC motor speed control also divided to three. So first, flux control method, armature control method, and voltage control method. So flux control method is due to the field winding, the magnetic flux varies in order to vary the speed of the motor. This can be achieved using a variable resistor in a series with a field winding resistor. So when resistance increase, gradually the current through the field winding decrease. This in turn decrease the flux produced. So next is armature control method. So the controlling of armature resistance control the voltage drop across the armature. So with this method, the speed of the DC motor can control. This method also use a variable resistor in series with an armature. When the resistance value gradually increase, the voltage decrease. So this in turn leads to decrease in the speed of the motor. Lastly is a voltage control method. So in such a method, the field winding is a fixed voltage and the armature gets a variable voltage. So when such a technique of voltage control method is involved, the use of a switch gear mechanism to provide a variable voltage to the armature. So another one uses an AC motor driven generator to provide variable voltage to the armature. So named as a Watt-Leonard system. Is starting method. So what is starting method? So the starter used is basically a variable resistance divided into a number of sections. So the contact point of this section are called stars, starting from the off position to the run position with many resistance within this position. So starting method has three examples. So first is electronic starting method, second is point starting method, and third is automatic starting method. Function is the DC motor or direct current motor is an electrical machine that transforms electrical energy into mechanical energy by creating a magnetic field that is powered by direct current. So one of the reasons that DC motor are preferred over other type of motor is their ability to precision control their speed, which is necessity for industrial machine. So two of the main advantage of DC motor are how easy they are installed and they require little maintenance. A DC motor is based on the idea that when a current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field, it produces mechanical force. So there is a limitless number of applications when DC motor are used, since they have a high starting torque compared to induction motor.